Hey, it's your race director, Jesse Wall, True Strength Athletics. Yes, and I am coming to you tonight from this video from my 7-year-old daughter's bedroom. Hey, if you can't if you can't do a video from your kid's bedroom on race night, so you make sure you get the job done, you're just not gangster enough for me. So anyway, this is a short, brief video for the 100K racers only. I'll make a separate 25K runner video, and I'm just going to cover some rules. I've already given you a link to walk through CalTopo maps with me, do the entire course segment by segment, and that specifically is for non-local riders. If you're a local rider, you already know how to get around probably. But for those of you visiting from out of town, this is a very useful video. You should make sure you look for it, watch it in the email if you haven't already. The other video is a parcel visit, basically going to each parking area and kind of walking through and welcoming you, showing you the signs, talking a little bit about what to expect at each parcel. And again, this is, if you're local, you don't need to watch that. But if you are unfamiliar with the terrain or territory, it could be really useful. I just want to make sure that this is a really successful race. There's a lot going on. We're traveling from one place to the next. You have to remember the order because the sequence of parcels matters. Even though the course is open, you still have to visit those parcels in order. So there's just a lot going on. So for those of you that are traveling for the race, first of all, thank you. But second of all, I'll make sure we provide everything for you. Most of the stuff I'm going to tell you right now in the video is also in the actual notes of the email. So if you don't feel like watching this, I don't think there's going to be anything special other than what is already laid out in the email. But I'm going to lay it out because I want you to see it, hear it, and read it so that you know those rules and there's no questions tomorrow morning. So the first thing is the timeline. 100K racers, you're going to meet me in Buckfield on the Sodom Road at Virgil Paris Preserve, okay? So we're going to be tackling the Packard Trail first. Originally, this was a much earlier race in the day, but with the rain, we have delayed. If you don't know that by now, I hope that you do. The start of the race is at 9:30. I'll be there as early as 8:30. So I'll be doing bib check-in, handing out bibs, checking in racers. I'm sure there'll be some no-shows because of the weather. I've already had a couple people tell me that they've had to cancel, unfortunately, but hopefully the rest of you will all show up. It's a small and intimate race as it is just because of the infrastructure of the land trust. We keep the numbers pretty small, and it's a lot of people to keep track of on a big course. So anyway, 8:30 there. I'll run bibs up until about 9, and then at 9:15 I'll say a couple quick words, ask for any questions, and then at 9:30 we'll have a 3, 2, 1, go, boom, and you guys start your run. Before we start the race, if you would like to have a dry jacket, puffy vest, whatever, waiting for you at the summit of Hawk at the finish. It's gonna be a little breezy, it's gonna be nice and warm and sunny, but it's only gonna be about 60, and if you're sweaty and wet, and if you don't have anyone else meeting you up there and you want me to haul some warm gear for you, I'm happy to put that in my backpack and make sure that ends up at Hawk. But make sure you see me before we start the race. Also, if you have purchased a t-shirt and you don't want it at the parcel because you don't have somebody there or someplace, a way of carrying it or stashing it, I'm happy to hold on to that for you as well until the post-award ceremony at Oxbow Beer Garden. Let's go through sequence of parcels just so there's no confusion. So it's Virgil Paris is where we start. You must go to Roberts Farm next. Third is Noyce Mountain Preserve. Fourth is Shepherd's Farm. Fifth is Twin Bridges. And lastly, Hawk Mountain, where the race finishes. You must do them in that order. Tonight's email is going to include a GPX course pulled from Strava for all 6 of those runs. It also includes a GPX of what we recommend as the race course for the bike. These should all be downloadable to either your watch, your Garmin on your your handlebars, your cell phone, whatever. And I do strongly recommend having some type of navigational device if you are non-local, just something you can fall back on. We are wanding and flagging the best we can on all courses. It's going to be kind of windy and rainy, and that stuff has been up there now for 2 days. As far as the bike course is an adventure style in that it's open, but we are marking the course that's recommended at certain junctions with pink and green 8x12 laminated arrows, neon sign arrows that say RFP race. noise, race, and an arrow kind of telling you which junction to go down, but you are totally responsible 100% for getting yourself there and being able to navigate this on your own. We're doing that only as an extra help, right? To make sure that you do that. Unlike some race courses, which might flag the bike really heavily, we're doing this a little bit on purpose to make sure that not only you know how to navigate, but two, you can shortcut the route if you would like to. I've also provided you a link for just to look at the map in Caltopo, go on your own, plus that YouTube video as well. Bib pickup in the morning, so we're gonna have some really ghetto bibs. I didn't realize this when I bought them. I thought they were printed, and apparently I bought some kind of sad blanks. So you're gonna get my custom artwork handwriting with your number and name on this, and I'm gonna give you guys a shock cord bib. If you've never used one of these or seen these, I'll probably even preload them for you or show you in the morning. Basically, you just put it around your waist, and then you feed your shock cord back through this cinch closure, right? And then once this is obviously around your waist, you can just draw it tight, right? And then loosen it up. The reason I like these is I'll have safety pins as well if you prefer pins. And if you prefer, it's not a huge field, so it's not like we're gonna have a bunch of confusion about your bib number. As long as you remember that's most important, or carry it in a pocket and can show it to somebody at the parcels, that's all we really need. But one of the reasons I like these is if you're wearing this and you go strip a jacket or a shirt, it's not pinned to that. You don't have to change it over. Literally all you would do, right, is maybe you'd get enough to loosen up there and you could pull your shirt or jacket off, put the next one on, and then cinch it back down. If you needed to pull it all the way off, it's very simple. You just pull one end out, right? Change your clothes, put it back in, right? And then away you go, right? You got that. So you're gonna get something like this. You can wear it or not, but just please don't lose it. Please show it to the parcel people. That will be important. Let's see. I already kind of mentioned flagging and stuff like that. If you'd gone out tonight to try and bike any of the course and didn't find any of those signs, it's because we didn't put them out. With all the wind and the rain tonight, I couldn't count on them not just getting blown over, or getting so saturated or something that they just didn't, they didn't perform. So I'm gonna go out first thing early in the morning and put those out there. You still will need to navigate, so we do recommend you make sure you have a GPX or something like that. I did want to point out again that there are ways to shortcut our recommended course, but the recommended course will put you on pavement. It will put you on roads with the best shoulder, probably the best visibility, things like that. But if you prefer to navigate off course to short the time, which people successfully did last year, which was great, just realize that a lot of those shortcuts will access gravel. So just be prepared for that. And I can't guarantee the state of the gravel after the rain, whether it will be soft, greasy, have some standing water on it, those types of things. So just so you know, helmets are mandatory, and you really must carry your cell phone, and you should download my cell phone number or put my cell phone number in there. As a race director, I am your backup, fail safe. Call me if you're having an issue, you need to pick up, or if there's something else, because we want to make sure you have a safe race. But we also want to ensure you have a really great race and a fun chance to push yourself. 100K is fully self-supported. So unless you're in the duo category, right, like your partner can carry some stuff and you can carry some stuff, you're really not supposed to have anyone, a support car, shuttle things ahead for you or hand you stuff. Really, you should be carrying with you on your person anything you need from the start of the race to the end, except obviously the aid stations where we will provide you with refillable water, and then sweet and salty snacks and some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and bananas and things like that. There are triathlon style, very, very simple top rail bike frames that we've either set up mobily or some kind of more permanently. You run your bike in underneath, you lift up the seat handle and then hang the nose over the top rail, and the bike just hangs in space. It's really simple, it's really fast, it's really beautiful. Those racks will hold about 5 bikes per rack, and they're first come first serve. So if there's no room on the rack, please use a tree, please leave your bike on the down the grass, those types of things. And as the race continues to grow, or we feel like we can support more racers, we will look at improving that. Once the race starts, The very first junction on the Sodom Road to 117 is a really hard, kind of blind uphill left-hand turnout with stop sign on a can be busy road. So we should have a sheriff's department officer at the end of that road, and he should be directing traffic, slowing people down, and waving you through, unless for some reason they get called off to, someone decides, hey, I heard there's a race, I'm gonna go rob the bank today. Maybe they'll get called to something else. So timing notes, it's really simple. I'm going to be your timing start at Virgil Paris. I'm going to have your start time right at 9:30 a.m. When you come through, you need to yell out your bib number to me. I'm going to write down the time that you finished Virgil Paris, and then that will help us track your splits. When you get to Robert's Farm, Zach will be waiting for you, and he'll mark in the time when you're in, and then when you leave, you need to make sure you see him again because he's going to record the time that you leave. This gives us splits. It gives you better information. It helps us plan better for volunteers. And then lastly, it helps us clear the entire parcel. We want to know that if you started and you didn't finish, that we might need to come out there and look for you. And then also that you ran the course correctly. Bathrooms, this is a really important one. 100 cares on your way to the race at Virgil Paris. The Land Trust doesn't have much for infrastructure at these properties. It's one of the limiting factors of doing this race. So there aren't a lot of porta potties on the facilities, and we were unable to get any extras. So please make a stop in town. There's a ton of gas stations, a McDonald's, a Burger King, a Dunkin' Donuts, right? There are plenty of places with nice public bathrooms that you can hit before you come out to VP. When you on that stretch from Virgil Paris to Roberts, you're going to ride your bike right past Burger King and Dunkin' Donuts on the right, and then several gas stations at Cumberland Farms on Main Street. Any of these places do have public restrooms and will let you in and use them, and it'll be much cleaner and nicer and probably faster than using a porta john anyway if you were to need it. Again, there are no penalties for leaving the course. Once you get to Roberts Farm, there is a porta potty in the parking lot there that you can use prior to your run, and you will see about 45 minutes to an hour later when you finish the run, depending on how long it takes you. Before you exit, you could choose to use that porta potty again. Other than that, there won't be a whole lot of opportunities after you leave Roberts Farm, unless on your way to Twin Bridges or you're on your way to Shepherd's Farm, you were to bike up to Roberts Farm again, or to try to use the lake store bathroom if they'll let you by the lake. So just to know about bathrooms would be smart. Cutoff times, all racers must have left Twin Bridges by 3:30 p.m. because we have a hard cutoff at Hawk Mountain Summit at 5 p.m. We will break down the area up there and descend at that point, and if you have not made it, we will consider you having DNF'd. If you need to drop out of the race and you need to DNF at some point, you must inform a volunteer or me, RD, preferably me. You'll call or text me about that number, so that we make sure that we know that you are safe and if there's anything we need to do, but also just so that we're all accountable. Aid stations I've listed in the email. We're going to have at very minimum refillable water at all of them. And then the only one of those might be the exception is Virgil Paris, because my assumption is you're coming to the race with your bottles full. You probably won't need any water. But basically we alternate parcels at that point. So by the time you get to Roberts, after the pretty hard ride, there will be a full aid table that you'll go by twice with food. Then the next one is water only. Then you go to Shepherd's, and there's a chance twice before the run and after the run to access full aid with food. Twin Bridges, there will be water only. And then when you get to Hawk, the last one, there will be a full aid table. Again, recommend if you don't have anything, you think you'll be hungry, grabbing something on your run up to the summit, because we would love it if you hang out at the summit and get some pictures with us. It's going to be gorgeous, and that's the best feeling, is finishing this race at that overlook. It's absolutely gorgeous. Awards. As you cross that finish line at the summit, we're going to hand you a custom finisher award. They're really pretty cool. And we quite often give out the cash prizes at the top too, but none of the other prizes or podium recognitions are done at the top. Same with all the random swag, the King of the Mountain swag, and Queen of the Mountain swag, those types of things. Those will all be at the post-events party. So you want to make sure you come to that at Oxbow Beer Garden. We'll start around 5:30, I would hope. as soon as we can get off the mountain and over there, we'll take care of business, and that'll be super exciting. So we have a nice, beautiful outdoor area, a couple big covered timber frames, fire pit if we were to want it. Really pretty cool, and a great chance to get some great food and beer if you so choose, at one of our great sponsors. So come on out for that, celebrate the race with us, and get your awards. I think that brings us to the end of everything that you might need to know. That's a long list. Like I said, it's all in the email, but some people, audibly like to hear that better. You can listen to this video without even watching it while you're driving in the car on the way to the race if you prefer. And it gives you the chance, obviously, to rewind and hear any of that again in detail. So can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Super stoked. I'm glad the rain is gonna end and blow out of here. We're gonna have a nice sunny day. Sleep well, travel safely, and let's have a great race tomorrow. All right, we'll see you.